Hey guys, so doing a quick video here, still on electric lighting. Going to continue on with where we left off there before. We talked about some different stuff. I don't even know where we were at. We're not sure right exactly where we were at without going back to that section. We finished up motor theory, and we talked about a little bit of stuff about lighting. I think we got through to the what is considered warm tone and low tone. What is the oldest technology? We went through that. I think we finished up at number 10. So number 10 was to improve both ballast efficiency and electronic ballast operates in the connected lamps at a frequency of what, and that frequency was 20,000 hertz to 50,000 hertz. So that's the one we ended up on. So we're going to continue on from here, and we're going to go on to the next 5 questions for lighting. We're going to talk about constant wattage. So all lights, most lights have transformers. The LED ones don't. But like a lot of the old school lights have transformers and ballasts. All your old fluorescent lights, you know, they have rapid start ballasts. They have rapid start ballasts. They have electronic ballasts. They have different types of lamps that go with different things. So we're gonna discuss a couple little things here. So an auto transformer CWA ballast is used with metal halide lamps. Which variation of a transformer? Is it the CWI? Is it the FLA? Is it the CMP, or is it the CWB? So these are just they're different types of auto transformer ballasts that are used with the metal halide lamps. Okay, so the type that you guys would use is the PLA. PLA, constant wattage auto transformer. PLA. Okay. If we go, I don't see it in here. I thought maybe you would have something in here in the one section so I could elaborate a little more on it. Let's see if I can find it. Hold on one second. Let me elaborate on this here. Let me see if I can go in this book and see if I can find this little section. Ballasts right here. So the new auto ranging ballast, they got auto ranging ballasts, and these auto ranging ballasts are ballasts that they range from 120 volts up to 277. So they can pick their voltage. When you set them up and you turn it on and you power it up, it sets itself. Anyways, those lights we were talking about, HID band, the high HID stands for high intensity discharge, and I know I talked to you guys about this. They have igniters in them, they have capacitors in them, they have different stuffs in them. They have gas that's filled inside of them. You have to have a high voltage to ignite the gas, and of course an igniter, and then it has to cool down. So these ballasts that we were talking about, I'm still not seeing it on here. This PLD ballast, oh, here we are, right here. So the windings, it's a PLA, it's a specific type, it has a specific set of windings in it. But there's an isolated CWI ballast. The I stands for isolated. There's a CWA, auto-regulating ballast, and so they have different types of ballasts. All right, so the PLA, I thought maybe there was a specific some information on the PLA that I could talk to you about, but no. They're just a constant wattage transformer that you use. So the PLA just stands for Peak Lead Auto Transformer. All right, so moving on to the next one. You guys just need to know how to replace the ballast and determine which ballast it needs is all. And that's not going to be that difficult. Most code requirements governing the installation of lighting fixtures and lamp holders and lamps are covered where in the code? Most of them are covered in Article 370 in the code. So if you go to Article 370, that's where you'll find them. Fixture whips used to connect from the junction box mounted above the ceiling to the fixture installed in a suspended ceiling must have a minimum length of what? Well, it's 6 feet, which means if, like when we're in a building, let's say you got a building 40 feet wide, right? You want to run conduit down the ceiling and have it so that no matter where a light fixture is, you'll have a junction box every so often to where we can run an MC tail to the light. That whip cannot be more than 6 feet long. So if we ran and set a box every 12 feet, okay, that would reach 6 feet to this, towards this, and the pipe runs were 12 feet apart. Each one would reach 6 feet, just like your outlets on your wall. You can only have an outlet every 12 feet of wall space, which means an outlet reaches 6 feet each way. And then the next outlet that's 12 feet away from this one will reach 6 feet back towards the outlet. So that's your very bare minimum. You really shouldn't go by bare minimum all the time. You should put in what you need. Anyways, you can put them as close as you want. You just can't have them any wider than that. And so your tail, your fixture whip, your MC cable can be no longer than 6 feet. Suspended lighting fixtures used in commercial and industrial buildings are supported by what? Suspended lighting fixtures used in commercial and industrial buildings are supported by what? Are they supported by A, conductors? Are they supported by B, fixture canopy? Are they supported by C, ceiling drywall or drop ceiling? Are they supported by D, building structural members? Well, they are supported by building structural members. Ceiling fixtures, you cannot hook ceiling fixtures to the guy wire that holds up the light or the grid. Suspended fixtures have to be hooked to the actual structural steel with its own independent forming wire. Okay, so going back to these questions. Question number 11, which variation of the constant wattage transformer, the CWA, ballast is used with metal halide lamps? Is it the CWI, the PLA, the CMP, or CWB? Number 2, most code requirements governing the installation of light fixtures, lamp holders, and lamps are covered where? Article 411, Article 370, Article 410, or Article 422. Number 13, fixture whips used to connect from a junction box mounted above the ceiling to a fixture installed in a suspended ceiling must have a minimum length of what? What's the minimum length of a fixture whip from a junction box? That's a maximum. It should have a maximum length. Fixture whips used to connect the junction box mounted above the ceiling to a fixture installed in light in the ceiling must have a maximum length of 6 feet. Oh, I'm sorry, there is a minimum too. There's a minimum and a maximum. The minimum a fixture whip can be is 18 inches. The maximum a fixture whip can be is 6 feet. So this particular question, it's 18 inches. A would be your answer. 18 inches or 6 feet. Number 15, or number 15. Oh, I'm sorry. The maximum fixture whip length when wiring suspended ceiling fixtures is how long? A, 4 feet, B, 6 feet, C, 8 feet, D, 10 feet. And the question before that, if you didn't get it right, was 13, was fixture whips that have a minimum length of A, 18 inches, B, 2 feet, C, 4 feet, D, 6 feet. And suspended lighting fixtures used in commercial and industrial buildings are supported by what? What do we use to support these lighting fixtures in commercial or industrial buildings? Do we use conductors to support them? Do we use fixture canopies? Do we use drywall ceiling or drop ceiling? Or do we use building structural members to support the fixtures? All right, guys, I will get you another one on there today. That's for Monday. Right there, the day behind on this, but that's for Monday. I'll get you another one on here today for today. Get this buttoned up. We probably will be, as of right now, we're going back to school on the 29th of April. If that don't pan out, I'm gathering it'll be like the 13th of May or something like that. So I'm guessing between the beginning of the month and the middle of May is when we'll go back if we don't have a big burst of infections in this virus. So stay safe, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit here.